Looking for tips on all things art business related? Social media for artists? Or one-line art? This is the place for you. Welcome to my channel.
Hi guys, it's been a long time. I know it's been a long time, but I'm here again with our next episode on this series on how to build your art small business with little to no budget. And today I'm talking about something that really means a lot to me because I build my business based on Printables. Printables were a major push when I started to do my one-line work, and they were, I would say, the biggest bulk of my income at the beginning when I started selling my art. They are easy to put together. They are really a no-brainer when it comes to wanting to get your business started and not really having a budget. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into the, I would say, 5 or 6 main parts of creating your own printables and what to take into consideration when you want to get started with them. Now, first things first, we're gonna talk about why printables. Well, printables are just basically selling your digital drawing files. Even if you are not a person that draws digitally and you do your artwork by hand, you can actually take a photo of your artwork and turn it into a printable that you can sell for people to print at home and decorate their space, or use your printable for putting it on a t-shirt or things like that. Of course, you need to have really good, high quality photos of your artwork if you want to do that. But printables is basically selling your file, the file of your artwork, to people that can't afford an original or can't afford to commission work from you. So these are great because they are low cost and they're also low investment. So you don't really have to put anything else than your artwork to sell. So printables are definitely great entry level idea when it comes to getting your art business started. One thing to consider when you do create printables is that you create them in very huge file sizes. So if you draw digitally, make sure that you're not drawing like for social media sizes, because social media sizes are very small. Also, you need to remember that every single time that you create a new piece of art, you want to create it in that bigger size, because then you can actually sell it for more purposes than just people using it for their social media designs and so on. You want to take into consideration as well the ratios that you give your artwork in. Sometimes if you work by hand, you can't really change the ratio that your art is presented in, so that's a bit of a problem. But if you work digitally, make sure that you have a variety of ratios that people can actually print in, because people buy different sizes of frames when they decide that they want to buy a printable. You want your art to be as versatile as possible. So also you need to think about presenting your work in a way that presents its potential. You want to make sure that you just don't show your artwork, but you should show how your artwork can be used. Maybe you can print it yourself and put it at home, and make sure that you can show the potential buyer how they can use your artwork. Instead of leaving it to their imagination, you can say, hey, this is my artwork. You know, if you were to buy it, you could use it this way or that way. And finally, make sure that you have clear guidelines into which ways people can use your artwork. I would say that there's a problem, that there's a risk to selling printables, which is having your work potentially being stolen. But if you say that up front and you let people know, like, hey, I'm holding you accountable and I'm trusting you with my file, with my art, to not steal it. Unfortunately, if people want to steal, they can steal it even from your Instagram. So at the end of the day, we need to make a leap of faith and hope that people won't steal our art. But if you put it in writing, and whenever someone buys it from you, you tell them, hey, this is how you can use my artwork, but also how you cannot use my artwork, is it's actually being safe. It's putting it up front, right? So it makes it easier. And finally, I want you to think about where you can sell your printables. And funny enough, you can sell that anywhere. You can sell it one-to-one using social media, but also you can sell it by making an Etsy shop like I do. I have an Etsy shop. I started it when I had no budget. One thing that Etsy does is that it gives you credit. So you can put a listing on your profile and they say, hey, per each listing, you owe us 20 cents. I think it's 20 cents. And basically what they do is that you don't have to pay it, but then when someone buys it from you, you pay that 20 cents. So it's actually great. You do have to put a payment method in Etsy. There's many other platforms out there where you can actually sell your printable files or your digital files, that without a budget. And I think that's great. I think, you can always, because you're starting small, you can always do so with individually, one-to-one through social media. But that actually takes a bit more effort and a bit more time. If you have time and your currency is time, then please do so. Reach out to people individually and sell it individually using long distance payment forms such as Venmo or PayPal and so on. If you want to know how to do this specifically, step by step, I have a course on Skillshare. I have a link in the description of this video where you can watch this course using your 1 month free trial from Skillshare.